Chef Tiny, thanks for making a reservation.
Billy, thanks for having me.
So what are we making today?
Victory ribeye and wild mushroom risotto.
All right, let's go do some shopping.
Let's do it.
Brandon Moore,
Billy,
how are you?
doing good.
Good. So welcome. So I am excited to dig in and start exploring a recipe from your menu at Retro Metro.
Boy, this is one of your favorites.
It is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
That's why I'm super excited.
The Victory ribeye.
Yeah.
So most of the time, you know, with ribeye, a lot of people like to basically let the meat speak for itself. And
Yep.
I mean, we do let the meat speak for itself, but we also enhance it a little bit, help with the crust and the char on this steak.
Yeah.
We're gonna give it a marinade. So we're actually gonna marinate this sucker.
So this was
Beautiful piece of meat right here. Yeah.
This was the very first item I had when I very first visited
Yep.
Retro Metro.
Yeah.
And so a mutual friend of ours, Chris Perkins
Yeah.
from Express Foods, brought me to your restaurant. And so I'd never been there before. And so we kind of sampled a few things to your menu. And this steak has stood out to me ever since I had it since then.
It's all about the crust. So this
Yeah.
this marinade gives it that daddy crust that you want, you know? Nice, almost kind of like a creme brulee, but with
Yeah.
beef, you know?
I can dig it.
Good
So, yeah,
deal.
so
All right, well, let's get started.
teach me.
All right, so what we're gonna do here is we've got some beef stock that we've thickened with a little bit of a cornstarch slurry, but it also has port wine in here.
I can smell it already.
So yeah, so we're gonna dump that to the mixing bowl right there.
All right.
All of it, that's 1 quart right there. Just dump it all in there.
So port wine is it? Like a dessert wine or
Pretty much like an after dinner wine,
Okay.
a cordial, you know?
Yeah.
And then we've also got a quart of our house dressing right here.
All right.
Uh,
That smells wonderful
a
as well.
bunch of ingredients in there. I mean, about 35 different things in that sucker.
So the whole kitchen sink.
The whole kitchen sink, yeah. We call it the kitchen sink dressing. And then we're gonna add some more herbs and spices. So we've got our port wine, beef stock in here. We've got our house dressing in here from Retro Metro. Now we're gonna add just a few other things. One thing's gonna give it the real sweetness that we're looking for and kind of make that caramely charred crust on the outside. And that's molasses.
So I always knew there was that sweetness to the steak
Yeah.
because it didn't. A great steak can be great on its own without a lot of seasoning.
Sure.
But this steak is great just by what you guys marinated it.
Exactly.
So I like that.
Exactly. So we're gonna take some of this molasses here, and we do about a cup,
Okay.
roughly. We measure a lot in our kitchen,
Yeah.
in case you can't tell.
You stop whenever your ancestors tell you to stop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Type of thing. Yeah, I can dig
We
it.
want to get enough in there, you know, that we're gonna get that crust and kind of get those sugars activated.
Okay. Very nice.
So we're gonna do about 2 tablespoons of salt.
All right. Looking good.
We're gonna add probably roughly about 4 tablespoons of this sage.
And Spiceology. That is a
Spiceology, man.
brand that I really enjoy.
It's good stuff. Find it right here at Restaurant Marketplace. And we got some crushed red peppers. We're gonna do about a
Okay.
teaspoon of crushed red peppers.
All right.
Gives a little bit of that kick. And then things that go good with every single steak, cracked black,
Black pepper.
not the finely ground stuff, not the
Okay.
table stuff,
Yep.
not the stuff you shake out,
Okay.
actual cracked black pepper.
Makes sense. Get some of that coarse feel to it.
Yeah, no pun intended, right?
Yes.
All right, so we're just gonna shake some cracked black pepper in here, roughly about a half cup.
Okay. And then we're ready to mix up.
Not almost.
Oh, I'm ready to. I'm ready. to
You're
mix.
antsy today.
I'm eager.
I know, I love it. You gotta add the oregano and the thyme, brother.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's roughly about 2 to 3 tablespoons of dried oregano.
But that oregano hits you right in the
Oh,
face.
it hits you.
It hits you right.
It
in the
hits
face.
you. And then we've got some thyme right here, some dried thyme.
All right.
Roughly gonna do about a teaspoon to a tablespoon. You know what they call this?
What?
Thyme on my side. Yeah.
Some dad.
Didn't see that one coming, did you?
Yeah.
Now you're gonna start mixing that.
Here. All right. Now I can mix.
Now you can mix.
You're gonna bring
Just
some
give it a
dad.
good whisk. Yeah, you got to get all those dried herbs incorporated with all the wet ingredients there.
So while I'm mixing, so tell me, so Retro Metro has such a great menu with every menu item is
Well, thank
named
you.
after somebody
Yes, it
on the
is.
menu.
Yeah.
And so can you tell me a little bit of the history behind that?
Yeah, so Fred Coco started that in 1994. He started naming a couple of dishes after regulars and then started getting more regulars and started naming more and more dishes after them. And then
Okay.
Pat kept that tradition going at Metropolitan Grill.
Okay.
And then we decided to keep that tradition going at Retro Metro since we are technically a brother restaurant of Metropolitan Grill. So,
And so you guys have, I've noticed on your menu, the cocoa pasta
yes,
on there. Is that one of the oldest items on
that's the original item.
Okay.
So the
Makes
Cocoa
sense.
Pasta is the original item on there, 1994 in November. We're coming up on 30 years this year. So we do have September 3rd, we're releasing our new 30th anniversary tribute menu to Metropolitan Grill. And
Okay.
we're going to have some new classics on there too.
I can dig it. Okay.
So what we're going to do now is we want to completely submerge the steak in this mixture. And just pour it over and get that steak completely subdued.
It smells so good.
Yeah. Again, this is not necessarily something, it's to flavor the steak a little bit all the way through and get into those muscle fibers.
Yeah.
But it's really more to get that crust
Okay.
on the outside, that really nice char, sweet crust
Yeah.
that meat can get on the outside. So it's more to
Alright.
enhance that than anything.
Okay. Next step, slice up some mushrooms.
Next up, we're going to slice up some mushrooms.
All right. Well, while
Well, a mushroom,
I'm going to slice up one mushroom.
a portobello.
And so what's the history behind you coming into owning Retro Metro
Okay.
and making it what it is now?
Well, my wife and I worked at Metropolitan Grill for a lot of years. And when we moved back from Kansas City, right about when COVID hit, we decided that we were going to help Pat open up Retro Metro. We thought it was a great idea. So we went along with it. And 2 years, or about a year and a half, actually, after working there and opening it and getting it started for him, we bought it from him.
Okay. Very nice. Very nice. All right. So what's next?
All right. So we're actually going to kick this guy on.
Okay.
We're going to get that heat cranked up. And then while we've got the heat cranked up there, go to about 430 if you're using one of these induction cookers. But
Okay.
otherwise, you want to be like a medium to medium high heat to start.
All right.
And then while we're waiting for this to heat up, we're going to start grilling our steaks.
All right.
So we're going to throw these down on here.
So the presentation is just as good as what the meat tastes like
Yes.
with it.
And the important thing for me, if aesthetically, if you're wanting to get that on there,
Yeah.
you really want to press it. Now, you don't want to press it after you've been cooking it or searing it, because then you're
Okay.
going to squeeze out all the juices.
Makes sense.
So for me, I do like to press it while it's still nice and raw.
Okay.
Really get that firm mark on the outside. That's
Yeah.
going to give us our great crust.
Okay.
Yeah,
My personal preference is medium rare.
correct.
And so what do you think on the time length on getting some?
Usually about 6 to 7 minutes on each side.
So it's relatively
Because
quick.
what we're going to do in about 2.5, 3 minutes is we are going to quarter turn this.
Yep.
And then we're going to flip it. And then we're going to quarter turn it on our last turn.
Yeah.
And our last turn, we want to be about, it's going to be about the time that we're going to be seeing where we're at and
Yeah.
if we're at medium rare or if we're at rare.
Yeah. Okay. For sure. All right. So while those are cooking.
So while those are cooking, we can start our risotto. Always check your pan. Pan's nice and hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with some olive oil. We're going to sweat out a little bit of garlic. When I say a little bit,
A whole lot.
the Metro tradition is the more garlic, the better. So we're going to get that in there and we're going to kind of break it up a little bit. We want to get this caramelizing. So we're going to get nice and popping. And we've got some nice golden brown color on our garlic. So the garlic's gotten nice and translucent. And what I added there was a little bit of our chicken velouté. So it's a thickened chicken stock.
Okay.
We're going to put that in there and then we're going to start with our rice. So we've got some parboiled arborio rice here, which is the perfect rice for making risotto.
I love a good risotto. So what would you say, how often do you have somebody come in who, where I said, I like my steak medium rare, and I won't call out names, my wife, who likes her steak more on the well done side of
Sure.
things.
Hey.
And I know that was always, me and you have talked about before in the past, that was always like a stigma.
Yeah.
If it's well done, you might as well order chicken
Right.
type of thing, you know?
You know, there's a lot of people that were raised a certain way and they like it how they like it, man.
Yeah.
You know,
I
they like
think
it how they like it. All right, so we've got our cream in there. We're just gonna let this cook down really good, get nice and bubbly. We're gonna come over here and check on our steaks.
All right.
So you can always see, like right at the bottom, we're
Yeah.
starting to get some nice color there. So with ribeyes, you do have to be careful, and especially with these marinated ones, they like to stick a little bit.
Okay.
So you just kind of want to slowly get up under there and just slowly peel it apart. And then we can get in there and grab it, and we will quarter turn it.
I can already see some of those really good grill marks in the bottom of it.
Oh, yeah. So now we're going for our nice grill marks and our nice diamonds on there.
All right.
Our cream is starting to boil over here. So we're just gonna kind of keep incorporating that cream in with this arborio rice.
Okay.
And we're letting that steam really cook down the mushrooms, get those mushrooms nice and soft and tender.
Then it absorbs that cream into
It just
it.
keeps absorbing it. So I usually start with about a half cup of cream, and then I'm gonna keep adding if I need, because it's always easier to add than it is to take away.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Now I like to usually add just a little bit of richness. Good old Anthony Bourdain said the difference between eating at home and eating in a restaurant is the amount of butter that's used in a dish.
Yeah.
So butter is always one of the core things. So as I can see, I've got enough cream in there. I'm gonna add the butter just to kind of richen it up, and it's gonna give it kind of a nice sheen, glisten up the sauce a little bit and the rice, really make a nice coat on that risotto.
All right, Chef Tiny.
Yes,
I'm ready to dig into some beef
I am too. It's definitely been resting, so
Yeah.
it should be nice.
because I wanted to dig in before it was resting.
Right, no, I understand.
Yeah. I had to restrain.
Yeah, I mean, just sitting here staring at it's not gonna do any good,
I know. All right.
for sure.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
I'm ready. All right.
It's very tender. I can tell just by running
Oh,
a knife
yeah.
through it.
Yeah, Herzog Meats is that's what we sell the most of. So I absolutely love their beef. They do a great job for us. They're everything from ribeyes to strips, fillets.
That is an excellent cut of steak.
Thank you.
I can eat this every day. It is that good.
It is.
Yes.
Mhm.
So, if somebody wants to order this steak,
Mhm.
they want to enjoy exactly what we're enjoying. So, tell us where they can find it at. Retro Metro.
Retro Metro, 2150 West Republic Road.
All right.
Right there in the Majors Crossing Shopping Center, right across from Price Cutter on Kansas Expressway in Republic.
Yep. So, and on your socials, where can people find you on social
They
media?
can find us on Facebook
All right.
at Retro Metro. They can find us on Instagram at Retro Metro 2150.
Okay.
And they can also find us at www.eatretrometro.com.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm very familiar with all those.
I know you are.
All right.
You're just a social guy. That's why.
That's right. All right. Chef Tiny, hey,
Okay.
I
Thanks, partner.
appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.